Hi, welcome to the FilmCrop channel. Today I'm going to tell you about a fantastic drama from 2009, called Moon. Please support me with a like and a comment. That way you can help the channel grow. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care.
I'm not a clone. You're the clone.
The voiceover asks the question, where are we now? There was a time when the word energy was considered a swear word, and not everyone could afford to turn on the light in the house. Cities in the twilight of energy-saving mode, power shortages, cars burning fuel, all this is far in the past. But what now? How do we make this desert bloom? We harvest it from the energy of the sun trapped in the rock on the backside of the moon. It is harvested by special machines, harvesters. From there we extract helium-3, which covers 70% of the planet's energy costs. And who would have thought that all the energy we need to survive would be above our heads? The energy of our future. That's what Lunar is doing. Our hero named Sam Bell tries to keep himself toned by exercising on a treadmill while his mind stands on the moon. He has signed a 3-year contract and has gone to the moon alone. Sam sends in his work reports while sipping coffee, and his companion, a robot named Gertie, wishes him a good morning. He looks friendly, with a smiling smiley face painted on his screen. Our hero puts on a suit with a spacesuit and gets out of the compound right to the car. The car looks very imposing. After all, they are on the moon. Sam plows through the lunar expanse, circling the black craters, heading for the other car. He climbs inside the car and picks up a container of helium-3. Our hero sends the footage down to Earth, where he sits in front of the camera, asking his friends about their affairs and thanking them for the footage of the soccer. On Sam's wall hangs pictures of his children and his beautiful wife, whom he misses very much, because his sentence is coming to an end, which means he's been here about 3 years. The man takes a shower while the robot helps him dry his hair. He behaves strangely and aloof, which makes robot Gertie start to worry about him. Sam asks the robot if Lunar has taken care of fixing the satellite, but Gertie knows nothing about it, but promises that he will find out. The man gets a headache and asks the robot for a pill. To keep from going crazy, he builds miniatures out of wood, but he is distracted by the robot, which has received a message from his wife Tess. Sam runs to watch the video. Tess tries her best to be supportive of our hero and tells him how proud she is of him. But that's not all. His daughter Katie appears in the frame, waving her little hand at her father. His wife says she wants to give her a dollhouse for her birthday and hopes they will put it together. Tess says goodbye and the recording is interrupted. Our hero reaches out to the screen, trying to touch his beloved for even a moment, but no, he feels only the moon's coldness and his loneliness. Sam waters the flowers he tries to tend. Afterwards, he goes to watch an old movie, while at the same time churning out a new thumbnail. Our hero is about to wash his mug, but he stares into one spot and sees a girl there. But who is she? We are given no answers as the man is burned with boiling water. The robot immediately comes to the rescue and treats his hand for the burn. Sam hesitates to tell him about what he saw and lies that he was staring at the TV, but Gertie immediately dissects the man, as the TV was turned off. Our hero asks him to mind his own business and leaves. Before going to bed, he sees Tess, with whom they make passionate love, but he is interrupted by the alarm clock. Here he is again, the same morning track and a portrait of his wife standing not far from the bed. A morning jog on the treadmill and breakfast in vacuum bags. Gertie says he only has 2 weeks left. Sam sends reports to the ground. A man notices some trouble on Matthew's car and immediately goes there in his car. He sees some silhouette near Matthew, but gets a glimpse of it and crashes into the car. The onboard computer says there is a depressurization hazard, and Sam puts on a spacesuit. He passes out right in the car and wakes up in the medical bay. Gertie stands next to him and asks our hero what happened, but he doesn't remember anything about what happened. The robot says he needs tests and leaves Sam alone. After a while, our hero tries to get up, but he finds it extremely difficult. He calls out for someone nearby, but no one answers and he has to climb out of his room by himself, stretching his legs at the same time. Sam hears Gertie talking to someone on the computer, but as soon as our hero approaches him, he turns it off. The robot worries about Sam's life and runs many tests on his health and ability to think logically. He doesn't have to go back to work for a few days. Once our hero is on his feet, he notices that Matthew's harvester is broken. Gertie says she will pass on his report. Our hero dreams of reaching for his own self, lying on the bed with Tess. In the morning, the Lunars send him a message asking him not to go anywhere, and they will send a special team to fix the harvester, and Gertie is told not to let the man go anywhere. Sam doesn't like being treated like a child, so he pulls a trick to get the robot to let him out. He succeeds, and the robot releases him to check the building's cladding. Our hero immediately picks up his car and sets out to find something that's pulling him so hard. He drives up to the scene of the accident and opens the hatch of the car. Inside sits a man in a dusty spacesuit. Sam gets closer and wipes off the dust. It's a man, but he's not conscious. Our hero brings him back to base, shouting to the robot and trying to find out who it is. In the morning, Sam wakes up in the medical bay with an abrasion near his eye. Or is it another Sam? There's a second Sam with glasses standing right beside his bed, but who is that Sam? Gertie says he has a concussion, just like the first Sam. The awakened man asks Gertie if there is anyone in this room besides them. The robot asks him to sleep longer, explaining that he is very tired. The other Sam closes his eyes. Tess sends a message to our hero saying that she has contacted Thompson and he promises the man a mountain of gold. The wife says she can't get over something, but what? Tears are visible on her cheeks, and the woman interrupts the message. The awakened second Sam walks around the base and can't believe his eyes. Someone so similar to him is jumping rope. He goes to Gertie and asks him what's going on. Is he going crazy? The robot doesn't answer anything intelligible, but says he saved him by lying to Lunar about dying in the crash. Second Sam goes to change and picks up a marker, which he uses to draw smiley faces on the wall. The first Sam continues practicing on the jump rope while the second Sam slowly walks toward him. He pays no attention to his twin, who is working out at his best. They try to talk and tell each other that their names are both Sam Bell. Except Sam from the beginning is about to go home, and the other one arrived a week ago. It turns out that Sam died right before he left for Earth. So he was the first Sam. The only question is, was it a setup, since Gertie says he was saved? The men talk more or less amicably until one of them calls the other a clone. Old Sam goes to tend to the flowers, and they get to know each other a little better. He behaves very sincerely toward the doppelganger, thanks him for saving him and even tries to shake his hand, but he refuses. The first Sam teaches the other how to play ping pong, and afterward he is busy clipping miniatures. The second asks where he went to school to get here on the ship, but when it comes to Tess, the second quickly changes his face. The first shows him a picture of Eve, their other daughter. One of the Sams gets a message from Lunar that an emergency crew is being sent to them, figuring he can't fix the harvester alone, but the other Sam has already fixed it. The first Sam says he wants to go home, but the second Sam tells him to come to his senses, thinking he is his clone. It must be so insulting to have your whole life devalued by assuming you're just a copy. The second Sam tries to guess about the other clones and the secret room at the base. He's sure there's something they don't know, but the first is extremely skeptical. Although, according to the second, everything makes sense. Lunar behave very greedy. They can't even set up satellite communication. Maybe they decided to save on recruits, just cloning them so as not to train new ones. He is very aggressive and asks the first one to step away from the layout to look right underneath, but they start a fight because the first one picks up a miniature knife and tries to stop the second one from saving his crafts. Their fight drags on until the first starts to bleed. The second turns the layout over, but finds exactly nothing. The first Sam goes to wash his face and decides not to go to the second, but goes upstairs to the computer. Gertie asks about his business and Sam complains to the robot that his doppelganger broke his miniature. He says that Tess dumped him 6 months ago, but he still got her to forgive him and get her back. Sam begins to question everything and asks the robot where his letters have been going all this time. Did he really get letters from Tess? The robot doesn't answer any of the questions. All he has is one answer: he only knows what's going on board. It turns out that he really is a clone, reanimated from the accident at the beginning of his stay, and his memories of Tess are memory implants. The second Sam apologizes to the first and thanks him for the suit. He is very aggressive for some unknown reason. The second tries to say something to his double, but the latter tries to distract himself by dancing to music from a small receiver, and the second breaks his thing again. The second is distracted by the idea that Lunar forbade him to leave the base while he was passed out outside, and when the second returned to the base, he heard Gertie talking to someone on the computer, which means there is communication on board after all. The first can't believe what he says, but the second is convinced that someone is blocking the base's connection to Earth. They decide that they need to go outside the work area and get in their cars. A voice in the car reports that the first has approached Station 3. Sam gets out of the car and looks around the station. The second one finds the station, too, and the voice says it's Station 1. That's why they didn't have a direct connection. That seems to be what blocked all communication. The first Sam vomits blood right into his spacesuit. He says he needs to go back, he feels worse. Sam somehow makes it to the bathroom at the base and vomits blood again. In the vomit he finds his tooth, which has fallen out right along with the roots. First Sam tries to learn something on the onboard computer, but his access is blocked. Gertie pulls up behind him and enters the correct password. He goes into the diary entries, and sees Sam with a beard and long hair, with his hair and teeth falling out, just like his. All the entries end about the same way. Each clone Sam gets worse and worse. He waits to meet his daughter, and the computer invites him to a cryogenic chamber to wait out his 3-day flight to Earth. Our hero approaches the camera at the base, and the man on the screen gives a typical farewell speech and thanks Sam. Our hero sneaks up behind the camera, trying to open a panel on the floor. Second Sam, meanwhile, explores the rest of the stations. He reaches Station 2. First Sam finds the tools and breaks open a slab near the cryogenic chamber, under which the stairs downstairs have been hiding all along. The second Sam comes back and talks about the 3 towers he found, and the first Sam shows him the secret room and decides to go first. They see a big one with numbered departments and numbered boxes with sleeping Sams. The second is shocked. Why do they need so many clones? The first can't stand the sight and goes upstairs. Sam asks the robot why he helped him enter the password. Gertie replies that he is obliged to help him. The first takes the computer, gets in his car, and drives to a place where the connection works. Sam gets on the phone to the Bell family home and asks for Tess, but the girl says she died years ago. Sam can't believe his ears and asks the girl again about Tess. The answer is still the same. But who is she? It's the grown-up Eve. She's 15 years old now. He asks her about how her mother died, but she freaks out and calls her father. Sam hangs up and gets hysterical. He wants to go home. But does he have a home? Was Sam ever home, or is he just a clone who lived on base all the time? He is filled with anger and despair, but he pulls himself together and returns to the base, where the second tries to carve miniatures, but doesn't know how to use a knife at all. The first shows him how to do it, while simultaneously discussing the fact that an emergency team will arrive at the base in 7 hours, and if they notice them together, they will be in trouble. The second notices his grave condition, for he really does look worse and worse, constantly coughing and bleeding. Second Sam picks him up and takes him to bed to rest. Before he falls asleep, he says he's scared. The second goes to get a drink of water and sees the bag containing the first one's computer. He opens the recording of their conversation and it shocks him. That girl in the pictures is dead. All his memories are false. Did he see her at all? Sam goes to Gertie and tries to convince him to revive the other clones so they won't be killed by the emergency crew. Gertie can't act against the rules, but since he's programmed to save Sam, he agrees to be revived. The first Sam wakes up in bed and his nose is bleeding, because he still can't get better. The second one has already calculated everything and thinks he can save the first one. And they plant a new clone at the scene of the accident. The crew arrives in 5 hours. The second Sam finds a good place to wait out the arrival time on the ground. Neither of them can figure out what is happening to the first Sam. Is his time as a clone coming to an end and now he will just fall apart? The first one refuses to go because he doesn't think he can handle it. His legs don't listen to him anymore. The second Sam goes to the crash site with the first and discusses Tess. They share the same memories of their relationship. The first Sam passes out right in the middle of the dialogue. The second puts a spacesuit on him and takes him to the car. He wakes up after the second Sam leaves for the car and heads to the base. The emergency crew will be there in about an hour and 40. Gertie says he's been filming it the whole time, and this information could really mess with his life, but he can erase all the information from himself after he's gone. The team is expected to arrive in 24 minutes, and Sam erases Gertie's data. The new Sam slowly awakens, and the remaining Sam hides inside the base. He has to escape. An emergency team arrives on the scene. Gertie manages to inform the new clone, which means he won't fail. The surviving Sam is sent to Earth in a helium delivery rocket while the first Sam is found by the emergency team. He pretends to be unconscious, but we realize he's going to be killed anyway. Finally, he sends the harvesters to the coordinates of the communications jammers. The connection finally appeared. A huge scandal erupted, and lunar stock plummeted because the other Sam told the world what had happened.